I'm suspicious of you. Look, young man, you can sit here and argue with me. I'm gonna tell you what.
Because he ran my how he gonna run my plates when I have a cover over my plate.
Sir, what do you want to do? Because you just want to be mad at the officer
I'm
for
not
something.
mad. I'm not
No,
mad.
listen to me. So if you want to argue, you can go argue elsewhere. I'm here to just deal with your motion.
He couldn't have ran my plates.
Yes, he could.
How are you gonna run a plate when the plate got a cover on it?
And you're saying your plate isn't exposed on your vehicle? You know what? Go ahead, sue him. Have your day. Have your day in court.
That's what I'll do.
You go ahead and do it, but don't do it here because I don't have any more time to listen to you.
This entitled punk walked into court today pulling one of the dumbest stunts you'll ever see, trying to withdraw his plea because he claims the officer was targeting him, all while conveniently ignoring the fact that he was driving with an expired license and an illegal plate cover that makes his tag unreadable, basically begging to be pulled over. And yet he still has the audacity to act like the victim and even threatens to sue the officer right after openly admitting he used the illegal plate cover, which is just next-level cluelessness, and honestly the lack of awareness here is so unreal it almost feels scripted, but trust me, it's not. You really can't make this stuff up, and that's exactly why it's so satisfying to watch Judge Simpson absolutely annihilate him in court. So let me know in the comments if you can make sense of this guy's logic, because I sure can't.
Is your motion to withdraw your plea? Yeah. Why do you want your plea withdrawn?
Just because the situation was misunderstood. As far as like the insurance and the tags, like I understand that. That's why I paid like the day of the ticket. But the officer was following me and then detained me without any questioning and was searching my car for over like 15 minutes. Then tried to get into the trunk of my car when he asked me.
Okay, that's why you want to withdraw your plea?
I'm trying to get my vehicle back because I can't afford to give $3,000 to get my car back. My car shouldn't have been towed.
Hold on a second. Okay, so your car got impounded. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me just ask you this. At the time that you were pulled over, you were by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
yes.
Problem is, well, I don't know if it's a problem or not. Your original license that you received was on March 3rd of 2010.
Yes.
Right? So that license in 2010, if you get a 4-year license, so 14, 18, 22, and then it should have been 26, which means, well, it looks to me that the license prior to this one that you got in June, there wasn't one.
So I went to the Secretary of State and they told me that someone up there made an error in 2016.
In 2016?
Yeah. And then I ended up taking the driver's test twice. I don't know why someone up there made an error.
All right. No.
That's what,
in 2016 somebody made an error?
Yes, that's what they told me at the Secretary of State. That's why it showed up on his computer that there was 2 licenses, and he said that one was suspended. And
where'd the second license go?
That's what he told me.
That there were 2?
Yes. He after he searched my car, and when I told him, he came back to the squad car. He said, "How do I get in the trunk of your car?" I told him, "You don't have probable cause for that, or a warrant. I don't know why you need that." He went back and kept searching. Then he got in the car and I just wasn't responding to him because he wasn't listening to me. And then he said, "Well, you have 2 driver's licenses and 1 suspended, so I'm towing your car."
Okay. So here's what, hang on a second. I don't know anything about the search, and I get that you may be upset about that, but I'm not here to deal with that, right? He said you had 2.
Yes. On top of that, when he stopped me, it wasn't like he was even asking me for any of that. He told me, "Get out the car or I'm going to arrest you."
Okay, look, young man, If you want to be mad at the officer, you can be mad at the officer and you can do whatever. It doesn't get me anywhere today trying to deal with your motion to withdraw your plea. Okay? So you can tell me all of that. That's not going to factor into anything I have to deal with. Understood?
And this is the second time I've ever even been pulled over. I've never.
Well, again, I don't, that doesn't help me.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, and at some point, you're operating off of a Michigan ID. And then when the officer pulls you over, all you have is an expired ID. Likely when they went in, it really isn't 2 licenses that he saw, because I don't see another number attached to.
Yeah, so when he said that, I was like, that doesn't make no sense.
Well, it does, but it's not a license he's looking at. He's looking at what he sees are 2 forms of ID. He's seeing your Michigan ID when he's running it. He's seeing your Michigan ID and he's seeing a license. You can't have both.
Okay.
And so if that's what the officer saw, I can understand his suspicion then, because you can't have 2 of them.
This case is honestly one of the weirdest I've seen, because I've never heard of somebody carrying both a state ID and a driver's license at the same time, which under Michigan law is flat out impossible since the license replaces the ID, and having both just creates confusion for law enforcement, especially when your license is expired and technically invalid, so flashing a state ID doesn't magically fix that. Meaning when this guy got pulled over, the officer wasn't targeting him at all, he was literally just doing his job, and yet here we are in court with this guy trying to withdraw his plea without offering any new evidence, without proving misconduct, just rambling about being treated unfairly while the record clearly shows otherwise. And honestly, the wildest part is that we're only minutes into this hearing and you can already tell Judge Simpson is being patient but is about 2 seconds away from snapping. So let's dive back in and watch him turn up the heat.
Whether somebody made a mistake or not, it's the Secretary of State, I don't know. I'm just saying you can't have both. So then after this stop occurs, you go to the Secretary of State. They're going to make you're over 18, so they're going to make you basically start again, because at some point, that's why you took the driver test course, because at some point, your license lapsed for an excessive period of time. Okay. And that's going to be the period at which, whenever it was, that you had the Michigan ID. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. That's why you become the focal point. Now, it makes sense with what, it may not make sense to you when you're there, and you may think the officer's not telling you something, but I can understand it now, because you have 2 forms of ID. And the only one he finds on you, or that you have, is the expired Michigan ID. But you had said you lost your wallet, or somebody took your wallet, so you don't even have your new Michigan ID on you.
They just gave me a new one now, though. But
what?
They just gave me a new one now.
When? In June?
I got it in my
pocket. No, but that's different. Okay. I'm having to deal with this way too much in my life. That's different than what the officer had you with. The expired one, what he had you with was an expired Michigan ID. That's different than having a driver's license. That may be that, I don't know why you're there in 16, but if something happened to your driver's license in 2016, you go to the Secretary of State. What you want is your license back. And when they're telling you somebody made a mistake, I can't say it's happened. Whatever happens, you get a Michigan ID. that cancels your driver's license.
Okay, I understand that.
You following me?
I'm following.
And then as you're just kind of moving along, living your life, doing whatever, at some point, and just looking at it from the Secretary of State side, your license, you just lapsed. It's like you went in and said, I don't want my license, give me a state ID, is how they're going to see it, regardless of what happened when you were down there at the Secretary of State. And then that period in time lasted so long that then after this happens, you go back in, you got to basically start again. Make sense? I mean, that make you happy?
Oh, no, that does. No, I understand now.
And maybe so that you can sort of understand from the officer's perspective, okay, because you're bringing this up, and maybe to chill you out a little bit. The officer, when they run you, I now get two things. You don't have anything on you except an expired one, right? But I now get two things that come back on you. The only thing you can show, I don't want to say it, but I'm trying to make it really clear because I think this is what happened when he told you had two. If I'm the officer, I'm not sure that you ever got a driver's license. Okay, and I'm guessing a little bit, but it makes sense. Because I see two things come up, right? And the numbers are going to be similar, but I see two things come up. And the only thing I've got on you physically is an expired ID, which then leads me to the conclusion that you didn't have a driver's license. But for whatever reason, a driver's license is coming back, but that driver's license is gone. Yeah. Follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, at that point, and I'm going to tell you, even if it were me on the road and I stop you and all of that comes back to me, I'm suspicious of you at that point because those things shouldn't be happening, right? Mm-hmm. And it would have almost been, and this sounds crazy, but sometimes life's, it would have almost been better if you hadn't had the expired Michigan ID. Right? Because at that point, I could almost say there's got to be a mistake somewhere. But the moment you had the Michigan ID, I think you just have a Michigan ID that you didn't have a driver's license, but somehow or another, a driver's license showed. Okay? That's why he probably has the suspicion of what the heck's going on.
So,
I mean, I'm not saying it's your fault, but what I'm saying is I don't think it's the officer's fault necessarily either, the raising of the suspicion. Whatever happened, as they're telling you in 2016, mm-hmm. This was just waiting to occur at some point.
Okay.
It was just going to happen. And you probably walked out of there thinking that you had a driver's license when really all you had was a state ID wherever that got messed up.
I'll be real with you guys, part of me almost feels bad for this dude, because the way he's talking it honestly sounds like he didn't even know the actual rule, and that kind of confusion happens more often than you'd think since the Secretary of State never really clarifies that once you get a new driver's license, your old one isn't just expired, it's completely invalid, so you can't just carry it around like it still works. And in that sense I do kind of get why he's frustrated with how the cop handled it, but at the end of the day ignorance of the law is never a defense, and once he admitted on record that he had both an expired license and a plate cover, the whole case was already game over, so while I can understand the anger, he's still the one who messed up here, and honestly, tough luck my guy, you should have just taken the plea deal.
But he did all that after.
Did all what after?
Like, why didn't he run my plate?
No, he knows before he's gonna say anything to you. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, he didn't run my plate still until after.
Not the plate, the license.
Even that, he didn't look at none of that until like 20 minutes after.
So he does that before he pulls over the car.
Goes over.
What you mean?
Oh yeah, he knows
He has all the information before he stops.
before he.
You know how I know he didn't?
Look, young man, you can sit here and argue with me.
I'm
gonna tell you what. Do a ride along. You will see. They know it before they necessarily.
I'm asking you how. I'm asking you how. Because he ran my. How he gonna run my plates when I have a cover over my plate? My Audi is custom.
It doesn't.
When I pulled out,
sir, what do you want to? What do you want to do? Because you just want to be mad at the officer.
I'm not mad.
And no, listen to me. You want to be mad at the officer. I would be mad at the officer too if there wasn't a valid reason, which is the only reason I went through all of this stuff. And what I'm trying to tell you is you need to just chill about it. It doesn't matter. You can sit here all day and night long and try to blame the officer for it. Because the first question I asked you is I said, were you alone? And the reason I asked you if you were alone is because the moment you don't have a license, he can't leave that vehicle. That's why your vehicle's impounded, because that's the first thing you came to me and said. So if you want to argue, you can go argue elsewhere. I'm here to just deal with your motion.
I'm not mad or frustrated. I'm saying he couldn't have ran my plates.
Yes, he could.
How are you gonna run a plate when the plate got a cover on it? He can see through the new plates that you can cover up. Like, that's what I'm trying to ask. That's what I'm not understanding. When I pulled off on Carpenter, he was coming from Textile.
And you're saying your plate isn't exposed on your vehicle?
My plate, it's the new plates that you can order, so it can be exposed when I allow it to be. I just picked the car up. The car has been in the shop for months. I haven't driven my car all year. When I pulled off on Textile, he just can't. He was following me.
Okay. He's just a bad officer. You know what? Go ahead, sue him. Have your day in court.
That's what I'll do.
You go ahead and do it, but don't do it here, because I don't have any more time to listen to you. I'm trying to explain it to you, but you want to be hard-headed and not do it. You want to say, how does he know? I'm telling you, before they walk up to that vehicle, they know who you are. Just as simple as that. You may not like it. Everybody else may not like it. That's too bad. What's the basis for your motion?
I appreciate that. I'll just sue him. It's
what?
I'm going to just sue him. It's fine.
You're not getting anywhere. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're being hard-headed, because I can tell you, why do you think I just went through all of it? The reason I went through all of that is I can tell you exactly what happened. You didn't have a driver's license, because I can tell from your record, you didn't get a driver's license issued to you until June of this year.
Okay.
Motion denied.
All right, appreciate it.
So yeah, this guy might honestly be one of the most confused defendants we've seen in a long time. On one hand, he straight up admits to using an illegal plate cover, and on the other, he's trying to spin it like the officer was some evil villain personally targeting him. Like, which one is it, bro? You can't have it both ways. That's like standing there holding the stolen item while saying you didn't steal it. The law's crystal clear: if your plate can't be read, that's probable cause for a stop, end of story. But the funniest part to me is him walking into court acting like he's about to sue the officer. That's just laughable, and honestly, his ego is through the roof at this point. Some people really don't know when to fold. But hey, let me know in the comments if you guys can make sense of his logic, because I'm seriously lost here. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel so I can keep getting these videos out for you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.